How do you know if a person is unwell? You check the temperature, you get their blood work done, you get all the necessary tests done that are required to diagnose if something is medically wrong with that person. And as humans, we try to do that because looking at numbers, looking at things visually, helps us to try and make sense of it all. And by making sense of it, we want to jump to a conclusion. We want to give that person a particular label that, okay, this is exactly what is wrong with you. But then what do you do if all your reports and all your tests actually turn out to be normal? How do you go and explain this unexplainable feeling to people that, okay, something is not right with me and I feel sick? 2 weeks and a couple of days ago, I had a very weird experience. So, what happened was, I just had an argument with someone and I started crying. I started bawling my eyes out. It was not something that has not happened before, but I think at that moment I was experiencing a very subtle panic attack because it was just very, very weird. I was just living in this constant anticipation of that this might happen for the last 3 days before the incident actually occurred. And when it finally occurred, it had left a long lasting impact on me. What impact, you may ask? Ever since that incident has happened, and I have had a crying session, my brain refuses to go back to normal. And when I say it refuses to go back to normal, it means in my stable, calmer self, wherein I'm able to focus on things and the tasks at hand, and I'm not constantly hazy in my head. But right now, I feel like something has gone short circuit in my wiring. That's how I'm explaining it to people around me, and that is exactly how I'm going to explain it to you. So, what happened during that incident was that I instantly felt that I was going to faint. And when I thought that I was going to faint, I did not actually faint, but there was this dizziness in my head. What I did was, after that crying session, I had my lunch. Okay, fine, I'm cool with it. Then I went into my bed. Of course, all the energy in me was drained, so I just lay down in my bed. I just put up a movie. I think I watched the Lifeless movie. It's a good one. So I watched that movie, took a nap, and then I woke up. I did my work, and I was like good to go. There was no problem with me because, as I said, that incident was not something that happened for the first time. I have had such sort of incidents for as long as I can remember. So it was nothing new, nothing that I already did not know. But when I felt the constant dizziness that day, which I thought that might go away after I've slept over it, did not go away. The next day I woke up as usual. I went to yoga. And when I was doing some yoga postures, at that moment I felt like I might faint. And I was like, okay, probably. But then also, just like any other human, I wanted to rationalize it. I wanted to think that, okay, probably I just cried a lot yesterday. That's why it's happening. I'm probably low on vitamins. Probably I'm just feeling a little bit dizzy because maybe because I'm just near my periods. And all of those thoughts just surrounded my head instantly. And I was like, okay, I'll get over it. Anyhow, weekend is coming. So I'm just going to rest over it and I'll be fine. But it did not get fine. I remember it. It was Friday. Then I had this faint feeling in yoga. I came back home, and after coming back home, I got ready because I had to meet a friend. And while I was looking at something in my shelf, I fainted. Thankfully, my husband was there, so he picked me up and he was like, "What happened to you?" I was like, "I don't know." And I tried to give all those explanations to him that probably I'm just feeling weak and all that, blah blah blah. So he gave me some electrolytes, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll just have coffee, my protein, and I'll get on with my day. I'll be fine." It just happened. So I had breakfast. After my breakfast, I had my coffee, and I just thought that, okay, I'll just work for some time, and after that, I was going to meet my friend. But as soon as I had my coffee, I just felt awfully sleepy. Like, of course, coffee is supposed to wake you up, but the unhealthy amount of caffeine that I have been running in my bloodstreams, I think the impact of coffee has drastically reduced on me, and I have become one of those people who can go back to sleep after having a shot of espresso. Yeah, like, not too proud of it, but it is what it is. So after having that shot of coffee, I went back to sleep. And when I slept, I thought I had a fever. I instantly felt that, okay, my body is warming up. I am not able to wake up. I was supposed to meet my friend. I don't know what time it is. I have not even turned on the air condition, and I live in Delhi, so of course it's boiling hot in July. But I was just in the fan. I woke up with my friend's call. She called me, and then I was, okay, yeah, I'm up now. And she had already left her house. So it would be not fair on my part to just, abandon the plan. So I thought that, hey, I might feel better if I step out because most of the times I'm just working from home and it just becomes unbearable on some days. Sometimes the change of scenery helps. So I just stepped out. I met my friend, and over the hours, I just kept feeling worse. Like, I was feeling drained. I was not feeling myself. I just felt like I should go back home and lie down in my bed and curl up. And that's exactly what I did on the following weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It got worse to a point that on Sunday, I thought that I should go and just visit a physician. Like, what is happening? Why do I constantly feel like I am in this hangover? Like, that feeling when you are too drunk the night before, that the next day when you wake up, your head is just banging and you just feel like so scattered and unfocused that you just want to eat so much and just go back to sleep, even though I was feeling a loss of appetite. And I know it might sound all weird to you, but I clearly remember all this happening because this has happened with me for the first time. That this feeling of this dizziness has stayed with me for so long. But nevertheless, I just thought that, okay, I have taken the medicines and now it will all go fine. However, it did not get fine. on the following Wednesday, two things happened with me. I was taking a normal nap. I was feeling okay. I was feeling fine. I was trying to work. And then I thought that, okay, I'll just take a normal nap. During my nap, all of a sudden, my heart started racing. And this is not to scare you or something, but that actually happened. It just started racing to a point like how you feel when you have nightmares, right? That your heart starts racing and you start sweating, and all of a sudden you're up and awake and you're like, oh my God, I just felt that this was a real experience. Just that I was not having a dream. I was so tired and probably under the drowsy effect of medication that I just felt I need sleep. But I'm having this heartache. Like, why is my heart hurting? Like, why is this pain shooting down my arm? I don't understand. And no, I was not having any sort of, attack or something, though it might sound like it. I do have such pains. Like, it has happened with me twice before, and this was the third time. But it has never happened with me while I am in a relaxed state. It has happened with me when I am in the middle of an argument and I am going through a very stressful period in my life. Then it has happened to me, and it is justified when it is happening like that. But when you are in a relaxed state, when you are sleeping and you're not dreaming of anything, I do not know what to make out of it. Like, I genuinely don't know like why that happened. Thankfully, again, I had my sister next to me, so I asked her like, am I hallucinating or is it really happening? So she checked my heartbeat and she was like, your heart is racing, like let me get you some cold water and all that stuff. And then in the evening, I was like, pushing myself to go and cook something, to do something, because this is like my toxic trait ever. That even when I am sick, I want to do something productive. I would probably watch YouTube videos in my bed. I would read books that are lying on my TBR for a long, long time. I just cannot be. And in that spirit, I went into the kitchen. I thought that, okay, I'll saute some vegetables and then, I have something good. Probably, again, rationalizing in my head that probably I'm feeling weak because I'm not having enough good food and all that jazz. But then I fainted in the kitchen. All of a sudden, like the energy just drained from my legs and I just sat down. And I am so glad that in all those moments I had family around me, because I don't know what I would have been able to do if I was all alone. So all of this had been happening. And when this incident, final incident of me fainting down and losing all the energy in the kitchen happened, my husband called my therapist and the doctor. So that's when therapist asked me all the symptoms that I'm having. I explained it to her and she was like, for now, we would want you to visit a neurologist because this constant headache feeling should not be there. Because I recently got my eyes tested, so that was crossed off. Like, look, okay, my vision is not bothering me, and of course, I have been wearing specs for the last 10 years or so I can distinguish. I can clearly tell when I'm having that sort of headache when it's because of my eyesight, but it was not because of that, right? So she asked me that you need to pay a visit to neurologist and see what they're going to tell you. The next thing that she told me is to just rest and relax, which is very difficult for a person like me because, as I said, I want to be productive even when I'm sick. Then my next thing to do was to visit a neurologist. I went there, and thankfully, that neurologist was kind enough to not put me through the abyss and the torture of getting an MRI and ECG. I have had my ECG before, horrible experience. But this MRI thing, thank God she did not put me through it, but she did give me medications for 10 days. So I had those medications, and while I was having those medications, I was still feeling this heartache and the physical pain kind of, simmered off. But then something more interesting happened. So, all this while, when I was laying down in my bed having medications, and those medications were typically made to keep me asleep and in relaxed state. I think that is what it was doing to me because I constantly felt like I just sleep. So when I was sleeping and I'm waking up in between, all I was doing was watching Netflix because I needed that constant noise in the background. And if I felt a little bit better, I would then pick up a book and I'd start reading it. So I did complete 2 books, and I binge watched a lot of series in the last 2 weeks because I just wanted my mind to be occupied by some sort of sounds, because I did not want to go down in the route of that rumination that what is wrong with me. But then something interesting that happened was I could be sitting on my iPad, I could be reading a book on my Kindle, I could be doom scrolling my life on the internet, but nothing severe or physical pain would happen. But as soon as I open my laptop and I sit on it and I try to work, my head would start hurting, or my arm would start hurting, or my legs would, like, there would be some sort of physical pain that would take all of my focus away from my laptop to that pain that is happening in my body. That is horrible, especially for a person like me. Like, if you've been watching me or if you've seen me on any corner of the internet, you know that work is my escape. That is where I run to. That is where I go to whenever I have something going on in my life. That has always been this place for me wherein I found comfort, wherein I found achievement. But then all of a sudden, it's like I can do anything in the world but work. And I have tried it on multiple occasions, right? And I have multiple entries done to my therapist wherein I'm like, okay, today I went out, I sat with my friend, I was having a good time, but as soon as I opened up my laptop and I tried to write some content for some client, I just had this heartache again, and all of a sudden, like, my head started hurting. Then again, I would spend my entire day just sleeping in bed, chilling, relaxing, eating good food. But as soon as I'm opening up my laptop to have a meeting with someone, I'm all out of energy. And I don't understand like why this is happening. And I'm at this point of time where this has become so unexplainable to me that I don't understand. Now, when I shared this with my therapist, she did tell me that our body keeps the score. There is also a book on this subject, if I remember clearly, that your body keeps the score. I have not read the book, but I think I have heard the audiobook or the summary of this book because I clearly understand like what that book is saying. So basically, the essence of that book is that whenever something traumatizing happens to you, you might feel that you have forgotten that or you have forgiven that person, but your body always keeps the score. Your body will always remember. It takes a lot of time and effort for your body to cleanse and detox those memories out of you, and it cannot happen overnight. And this is something that my therapist also explained to me, that for the longest time possible, I have been living in a survival mode. I have this weird habits and these weird relations in my head that I have always seen myself as this ambitious person, and all of my ambition has always translated to the money I earn, even though I know deep down that there is a fire, a spark in me that wants to dive down heavily into the impact that I'm creating. But yet, money is something that I've always attached my self worth to, which is wrong. And probably that's why my body has started seeing laptop as an enemy than an escape now. Because my body has kept this score that whenever I'm trying to work, it is always out of stress. And my therapist, because she has been my therapist for the last 5 years and she has known me better than anyone else, and she keeps explaining and diagnosing this to me, that this constant need for me to be always productive, to be always self-aware, to be always doing things for the output rather than just for the enjoyment of it is where I am failing. And that is where my body has kept, and that is why my body has kept this score, and now my body is trying to redeem all of it from myself, and it's all showing up in all these different scenarios that i might be I might be all right while I'm talking to you in person, but then instantly I just feel that, okay, bloody hell, I'm drained of energy and I can't keep going on for long. This is what has been going on for me for the last 2 weeks. So then, what does a person like me do about it? Thankfully, I have a very kind husband who is not shaming me or who is not pulling me down in all these scenarios. He has always appreciated the way I am as a person. And I think that has been one of the biggest motivator for me in this time, especially when I feel horrible and not everybody can understand what I'm going through. So while having a conversation with him yesterday, he asked me like, what should my ideal day look like if money was not a constraint? And I think this is a very important question. A lot of people have asked this question to me before, and I think my answer fairly has remained the same, that I would wake up, I would then sit down to write. It could be that I'm writing on my laptop, or it could be that I'm doing a journal entry, whatever, but I want words to be the first part of my day. And once I'm through that and I have had this session, I would want to go for an exercise session so that I have that instant dopamine hit. After that, I would probably come home, I would make good breakfast, and after having that breakfast, I would sit down and do focused work for like 3 to 4 hours. That's it, not more than that. In those focused hours, I could probably be making a YouTube video or creating content for Instagram or writing some scripts for other social media channel or probably writing a Substack article or doing these XYZ things, right? I could be, doing all those things. My God, I'm still feeling hazy. I think pressurizing my brain to think too much is doing this to me. Sorry. So yeah, I would probably do this focus work, and then I'll have lunch with the family, and then I'll just read, rest, go for a walk, come back home, make dinner, and then unwind with him. That is how I explained my day to him. And he told me, then what is stopping you from achieving this as your ideal day? And my answer, to my surprise, was money. Before 2 weeks, I was still doing all of this. But then in between, there were a lot of blocks that I had in my calendar, the blocks which were dedicated to client work. And when I'm doing this client work, my mind is scattered. I'm not focusing on one thing, on consuming, or I'm not taking a joy out of it. It's just that I am scattered doing the things which I want to do for the fun of it and doing the things that I have to do to make money. And being scattered like that has probably led me to this point where I'm not able to focus on anything whatsoever. So that's when my husband has told me, and this is where I have to go if I want to properly heal myself, is I have to go analog. You would not believe that while writing the script of this video, I actually used like paper and pen. I've actually written down all the talking points here so that I am still on the track of the things that I want to discuss with you, and I am not on my laptop, because even if I'm on my laptop for 10 minutes, my heart starts racing, and it's foolish and absurd and bizarre, and I know that, but it is happening. And guys, I don't know what to make of it. It's just that it's stress, clearly, and some sort of negative connotation. And I'm dying to feel better. I'm dying to just get out of this slump that I'm in. And that brings me to this phase that I coined today morning. Delaying the pain is decaying the pain. So basically, what I mean by that is that I've always been this strong person. I've penalized myself so many times if I allowed myself to cry in front of other people. I am my biggest critic. I am always analyzing my own behavior. I'm always reflecting on my own life. And when I'm doing all of that stuff, experiencing pain and allowing myself the time to heal has been seen as a weakness by me. I've always categorized laying around, resting, boredom as a trait of being a lazy person. And that's why I've always pushed myself to be constantly busy, to always find things to do, to always first create the clutter, probably, and then clean it, to always be busy and be always attached to my laptop. But then that has clearly taxed me so much because I was delaying experiencing the daily basis pain that I was going through. My body was constantly into the survival mode. And now that I talked to my therapist, which I spoke to her like last evening, and she told me that, Twinkle, there is nothing wrong with you, because all my blood work is fine, my all my reports are fine. Even when my heart is racing and I test my BP, it's also fine. So there is nothing wrong with me numerically. It's just that inside my body there is a lot of stress which has been held, and that stress is now coming out and bursting out like a volcano erupting, and I have no control over it. All I can do and I have to do right now is just flow with it. If in this moment I felt that, okay, I have a little bit of energy to record a video, I will just sit and record a video. But if I do not have the energy for it, then I'd probably go and lay down. Because for the last 10-15 years, ever since I have started earning and I've started going out, I have just been constantly pushing myself, and pushing myself has brought me to a point that I have delayed the pain, and that pain in me has decayed to a point that my body feels rotten. I think it might come out as too harsh, but by rotten I mean that I don't know what is wrong, like which part of my brain or my heart or my body is not functioning properly for me to feel this dizzy and for me to feel this hazy even when I'm just recording this bloody 10-15 minute video. And yeah, so this is probably a lesson for me and a big thing for you to do, guys, that when you are experiencing something bad, allow yourself to feel that pain. Talk about it as much as you could. Take therapy. Talk to people who are experiencing the same thing as you are, because you never know that if you keep brushing all of these things under the carpet, they might just make your room, your home, your body so polluted that you will not even know where to start this detox process. And yeah, I think I cannot continue any further because all of a sudden my brain has just started exploding again. But I just know that I will try to get back to normal slowly and gradually. And I will try to do things that will bring me joy and detach myself from this money outcome. Probably next week's video could be on the subject of how money is attached to self-worth. I don't know, but that's it for today's video. And I hope if you take away one thing from this video, it's just that delayed pain is decayed pain. And do not let the pain decay in you and in your body, because your body is keeping the score and you don't want your body to redeem all these scores from you in the wrong time at the wrong place. That's it for today. I will see you in the next one.